The deep silence of space was broken only by the faint hum of the Zeroth Coalition. Frigate Veilcore. Its hull shimmered faintly under the distant stars, an elegant ship built for exploration and medical emergencies. In the midst of a routine patrol, the ship's sensors detected an object floating in the void, a tiny escape pod, barely holding together. Captain Vash, the bridge officer called, voice tense. "We've got a life form aboard an escape pod. Scans show severe trauma. It may already be dead." The captain, a tall figure with luminescent eyes and a commanding presence, peered at the monitor. "Bring it aboard," he ordered. "If it's alive, it's our duty to help." In the ship's medical bay, Dr. Varen, the chief medic, prepared for what he expected to be routine confirmation of death. Varen was one of the most skilled healers in the Coalition. His 3 arms moved quickly and efficiently, adjusting scanners, biomonitors, the life support pods. When the pod arrived, the outer shell scorched and dented from its long journey through space. The medical team opened it carefully inside. They found a human small in stature compared to most species in the Coalition, but obviously strong. His body was battered with deep gashes and broken bones, yet he was breathing. Varen frowned. Impossible. Cellular regeneration, accelerating beyond predicted parameters. The medic repeated the scan. His hands hovered over the controls, unsure. The readings were identical. Bone fractures were healing as the monitor observed them. Deep lacerations on the human's torso were closing, as if time itself moved differently for him. "Captain," Varen said, voice low, "this human. His body is repairing itself at a rate I have never seen. This cannot be correct." The captain's eyes narrowed. "Check the scanners. Are they malfunctioning?" Varen shook his head. "All systems are fine. This is real. Cellular activity. His body is rewriting itself. It is impossible." In the corner, a junior medic whispered, "Could it be a rare condition? Something unknown to Zeroth science?" Something about him did not feel ordinary. Something about his resilience. It was extraordinary. The human stirred. His eyelids fluttered open, revealing deep brown eyes that were alert, sharp, and oddly calm despite his injuries. He coughed a weak sound and immediately tried to sit up. The medical team restrained him gently, not wanting him to worsen his condition. "Easy there," Varen said. "You're badly injured. Stay still." The human looked around, his gaze moving from the strange medical instruments to the tall aliens observing him. For a moment, he didn't speak, only blinked. Then, in a surprisingly clear voice for someone in his condition, he asked, "Are you going to help me?" The room went quiet. No human had ever spoken to the Zeroth without panic in their voice. Varen exchanged a glance with the captain. There was a faint sense of respect, even from this weak human. "We will do everything we can," Varen said, carefully monitoring the human's vitals. "Your body. It's extraordinary. We've never seen anything like it." The human tried to smile. "That's good to hear. I guess I have a stubborn streak." Varen frowned, intrigued. He had treated thousands of species, but none displayed this combination of rapid healing, resilience, and mental composure. "Do you know what species you are?" he asked. The human blinked. I'm human, from Earth. Not that it helps right now, I guess." The captain's jaw tightened. Humans were rare in the galaxy. Few civilizations knew about them. Little intelligence the Coalition had was mixed humans were classified as Deathworlders, a term used for species that evolved in extreme conditions. Most aliens feared them. Varen made a decision. "This human will remain under my observation. He is not a threat, but we must understand him." The human, sensing the tension, tried to reassure them. "I'm not dangerous. It's just unlucky." The medic scanned him again. Injuries were closing even as he watched. Skin knit itself over deep cuts. Bones realigned. Every organ functioned as if untouched by trauma. Dr. Varen couldn't contain his astonishment. "This cannot be explained by any known biology," he whispered. The AI system on the ship confirmed it. Subject's regenerative functions exceed all known parameters. Biological anomaly detected. Cellular self-repair in progress. The alien crew murmured among themselves, fear mixed with curiosity. Some had never seen a being survive injuries that should have been fatal. Some whispered, "Are humans immortal?" Others considered more dangerous options, studying him as a specimen. Varen stepped forward. "No," he said firmly. "This is not for experimentation. This human deserves care." The captain nodded slowly. Within hours, wounds that should have taken weeks to heal were closing. Bruises faded. The stiffness of broken limbs disappeared. He could sit upright without assistance. The alien medics whispered among themselves. Even Varen, an expert in physiology, could not explain it. By the next day, Human was walking slowly through the medical bay. His movements were careful, but his expression was calm, even cheerful. Varen observed him with a mix of fascination and unease. He had treated many species. He had seen many survive impossible odds, but this human was different. His body did. Not just survive, he adapted, repaired, and strengthened itself at a rate beyond any known limits. "You're unusual," Varian said quietly. The human shrugged. "I guess that's one way to put it." The calm was shattered suddenly. The ship's alarm blared. On the view screen, a massive shadow moved past the ship of Void Serpent, a creature known to strike without warning. It had been a myth for most of the galaxy, but in the dark of deep space, legends often held truth. Brace for impact. He had just recovered from near-death, yet his gaze was steady, almost fearless. Varen noticed it the same calmness, the same courage. The serpent slammed into the hull. Alarm screamed. Crew members scrambled to contain the damage. Fires erupted in the corridors. "Stay inside the medical bay," Varen commanded. But the human's response was unexpected. He moved toward the exit, determined. "I need to help," he said. Varen stopped him. "You're injured. You cannot." The human's eyes met his, calm, steady, filled with quiet determination. "I can. I will." The medics exchanged glances. The human's regenerative abilities were extraordinary, yes. But it was more than that. His courage, his instinct to protect others, despite personal risk, was unprecedented. Varen knew then that this human was not just a survivor. He was something the galaxy had not seen before. As the Void Serpent breached the hull further, the human reached for a plasma spear discarded from the weapons locker. His movements were deliberate, confident, and precise. The crew watched in stunned silence. No human had ever fought alongside the Xyrith. No human had ever faced such a creature. Yet here he was, stepping forward, ready to confront a monster that could easily destroy them all. Varen's heart pounded. He had scanned countless species, studied countless anomalies, but he had never encountered anything like this. This human was rewriting the rules, and in that moment, Varen realized that the galaxy had no idea what humans were capable of. The human's eyes met his one last time before turning to face the approaching threat. Calm, fearless, determined, and Varen understood this was just the beginning. In the shadows of the medical bay, the other medics whispered, "What is he?" For the first time in his career, he felt uncertainty, a spark of something he had never felt before. The human was alive, not just alive, ready. And the universe would soon learn why humans were feared, respected, and perhaps envied. And the alien medic was about to witness something he could never have imagined. The Void Serpent's massive shadow stretched across the hull of the Xyrith frigate Valkor. Its scales glittered faintly in the starlight, and its eyes burned like molten gold. Every movement of the creature sent shudders through the ship's structure. Alarms blared, warning lights flashed. The crew scrambled to contain fires and repair breaches in the middle of chaos. Ethan, the human, stood in the corridor outside the medical bay. His body had healed miraculously in the past 24 hours, but he was still not at full strength. Every movement reminded him of the pain he had endured, yet it did not stop him. Fear was there, as it should be, but it did not control him. Dr. Varen reached out, his 3 arms trembling slightly. "You don't understand." "That thing, I understand more than you think," Ethan interrupted, voice calm yet firm. "It's a creature. I've fought bigger odds than this before. But right now, you need me to act." Varen hesitated. Humans were unpredictable, But there was something in Ethan's eyes, a confidence, not arrogance, that demanded trust. He stepped back and allowed the human to move forward. The crew held their breath as Ethan gripped a plasma spear. His fingers tightened around the handle, not with fear, but with determination. The massive creature lashed at the ship, shaking the corridors. Sparks flew from exposed wires. Crew members ducked for cover. Ethan's strategy was simple. He needed to draw the serpent away from the ship's core, where critical systems were failing. He sprinted down the corridor, moving with a speed that seemed impossible for someone recently so badly injured. He leaped over fallen debris with agility that surprised even the seasoned alien crew. "Look at it go," a young engineer whispered. "It's moving faster than any Zereth scout." Varen watched, mouth slightly open. Every instinct told him to stop the human, but he couldn't deny what he was witnessing. The human's regeneration was extraordinary, yes, but it was more than that. His mind processed danger, assessed patterns, and responded almost instantly. The serpent swung a massive tail, knocking aside a bulkhead. Ethan dove, narrowly avoiding the strike, and rolled to his feet. Sparks danced across his skin, but he barely flinched. He adjusted the plasma spear and hurled it with precise force. The spear struck the serpent's scale, and the creature let out a deafening roar, coiling slightly. "That wasn't even a scratch," one of the medics exclaimed. Ethan's eyes narrowed. He studied the serpent carefully. Its movements were predictable in their rhythm, even if it was incredibly powerful. The human analyzed, adapted, and exploited every slight pattern. Suddenly, the serpent lunged, toward him, jaws wide. Ethan rolled to the side just in time. The tail swung in a powerful arc. He used the momentum to spring upward, landing on a bulkhead ledge, and aimed a precise strike at a vulnerable area near the creature's underbelly. Sparks and energy discharged as the spear struck. The creature howled again, thrashing violently. Varen's jaw tightened. "No species in the Coalition could do this," he whispered. "None, but he. He's human." The creature's attacks grew more erratic. It sensed resistance, and in doing so, became reckless. Ethan used this. He darted across the corridor with precise timing, striking again and again. Each hit did not kill the serpent he had no intention of killing, but it weakened its hold on the ship. Forcing it to retreat slightly, the alien crew started organizing. Engineers repaired bulkheads and reinforced doors, while soldiers used non-lethal energy nets to trap parts of the creature. The serpent's aggression slowed as it struggled against multiple points of interference. But the human's bravery inspired more than just action. It sparked courage across the crew. Ethan paused for a moment, catching his breath. His body bore scratches and bruises, but they healed almost instantly. His endurance was staggering. He looked back at the medical bay where Varen stood, eyes wide with amazement. The medic realized something crucial. This human was more than biology. His spirit was unmatched. The serpent made one final, desperate strike toward the ship's core. The crew froze. It could destroy the entire vessel in a single blow. Ethan didn't hesitate. He charged forward, ignoring the warnings of trembling aliens around him. He dove beneath the creature's massive claws and rolled upward, aiming directly for its eye. The plasma spear struck true. The creature screamed, staggering backward. Its movements grew slower, more measured, as it realized it had underestimated this human. Varen moved closer to the monitor. "This is unprecedented. The human's reflexes, his strategy, he's performing like a battle unit on his own. Without training, without tech, just instinct and courage." Ethan didn't stop. He climbed along a damaged section of the corridor, leaping over rubble, following the creature's retreating movements. Finally, he struck again with precision. The serpent, wounded and frustrated, released a roar that echoed through the ship and then slithered back into the darkness of space. Silence followed. The alarms continued, but the immediate threat was gone. Crew members stared at Ethan in disbelief. He was battered, yes, but standing tall, breathing evenly, calm. Varen stepped forward, his hands still trembling. You survived. Alone. Without help. You could have died a dozen times. Ethan shrugged, wiping sweat from his brow. Guess humans are stubborn that way. The crew erupted in applause, not just for survival, but for heroism. For courage that defied what the aliens thought possible, the captain approached, towering over Ethan. I have served the coalition for decades. I have seen heroes, I have seen warriors, but I have never seen anything like you. Tell me your name. Ethan, the human said simply. Ethan, the captain repeated. You have saved this ship. Saved my crew. You have my respect. And my curiosity. Varen approached more closely, scanning Ethan once more. His monitors still displayed impossible readings. Regeneration continued, injuries healed, strength returned. You are beyond science, Varen said quietly. Ethan smiled faintly. Or maybe I'm just human. We get that a lot. The crew laughed softly, a mix of relief and awe. Even the youngest soldiers, who had been terrified moments before, now looked at Ethan with newfound admiration as the ship stabilized. Varen guided Ethan back to the medical bay for a final check. I need to understand how this works, he said. How can your body do what ours cannot? Ethan sat quietly on the examination table. I don't know. Maybe it's evolution. Maybe it's luck. But right now, I'm just glad we're all alive. Varen nodded slowly. You've done more than survive. You've proven something important about humans, about courage, about resilience, about adaptation. Ethan's eyes flickered with a quiet pride. If that's true, I hope it helps others understand. Humans aren't just survivors. We find ways to protect, to fight, to adapt when no one expects it. Varen recorded the readings carefully, but labeled the file differently than usual. It was not a study of a specimen. It was a record of proof of resilience, proof of courage, proof that humanity could defy expectation. Over the next hours, Ethan shared small stories with the crew about his planet, his home, and his life before space. Aliens listened with fascination. They had heard myths about humans, but never the stories firsthand. They laughed at his humor, marveled at his resourcefulness, and slowly began to see him not as a fragile alien species might assume, but as a being of strength and intelligence unlike anything in the galaxy. Dr. Varen remained close, continuing to monitor Ethan's recovery. Every scan confirmed what he already knew. This human was extraordinary. But more than that, he was inspiring. For the first time, the medic felt something unfamiliar: humility. He had studied thousands of species, but he had never encountered anyone like Ethan. Not just the healing ability, not just the courage in battle, but the combination of intelligence, humor, and bravery in a life-or-death situation. The captain returned to the bridge. We will continue our mission, he said. But the human remains a priority. He will be monitored, protected, and allowed to recover fully. Ethan, sitting calmly in the medical bay, simply smiled. I'll do my best to help. You've all already saved me once. Let's keep going. And in the silence of deep space, the Veil Corps sailed onward, carrying a human whose presence would change the perception of humanity across the stars. Aliens whispered in awe. Crew members took cautious inspiration. And Dr. Varen continued to record the impossible. The galaxy had encountered humans before. It had heard myths, but it had never faced a living example of courage, adaptation, resilience like Ethan. And the story of this day, a day a human faced a void serpent and survived Woodspread, slowly, first as a tale of disbelief, then as proof that humans were not ordinary, but extraordinary. The human sat quietly in the medical bay, allowing others to fuss over him, to treat him, to marvel at his recovery. But in his mind, he was already thinking ahead. The galaxy was dangerous, full of threats the likes of which he had not yet seen. And he would be ready, because humans, adapted humans, survived, and humans, when pushed, could exceed anything the galaxy expected. And Ethan. The human who had shocked a crew of aliens with his resilience would be the first to show them just how far humanity could go. The Veil Core had sustained damage during the Void Serpent attack, but the humans' courage had given the crew a chance to repair critical systems. Still, alarms echoed faintly throughout the corridors as the alien engineers rushed to reinforce structural integrity. The captain, tall and composed, looked at Dr. Varin with an expression that combined relief and awe. "Dr. Varin," he said, voice steady but strained, "the human. He may have saved us all, but we cannot take chances. The serpent may return." Varin nodded, scanning Ethan, who was now sitting calmly in the medical bay, quietly observing the repair crews. His body, still covered with faint marks from the battle, showed no signs of fatigue. His wounds had healed completely within hours. His movements were as strong and steady as before the attack. Ethan met Varin's gaze, and there was no fear in his eisonly determination. "If it comes back," he said quietly, "we stop it. Simple as that." The captain exhaled. "Simple, yes. It's easy, no. Are you prepared for another encounter?" Ethan shrugged, as if shrugging off the entire concept of danger itself. "I've survived worse." Varin frowned. He had treated species that could withstand intense radiation, survive harsh atmospheres, and endure physical trauma far beyond human limits. Yet here was a human who had not only survived, but had outsmarted and fought back against a creature that could have destroyed the ship. His regenerative abilities were remarkable. Yes, but his mind, his instinct, his courage were just as extraordinary. The crew worked tirelessly repairing bulkheads and restoring energy shields. The serpent had retreated, but the captain insisted on a full defensive perimeter. "We must be ready," he said. "Any moment it could return." Ethan, watching the crew's efforts, smiled faintly. "You're all very serious about this, aren't you?" The youngest engineer, a small alien with violet skin, approached cautiously. You are human?" she asked. How can you survive like this?" Ethan shrugged. "I guess humans are stubborn. We survive, adapt, and fight when we must. That's all," Varin intervened. "There is more to it than survival. His body repairs itself at a rate we cannot explain. His resilience, both physical and mental, surpasses everything we know. This human is rewriting what we thought possible." The young engineer looked at Ethan in awe. "You are remarkable. I have never seen anything like it." Ethan simply smiled. "I'm just trying to help." Despite the calm, tension lingered. The crew knew the serpent could return at any moment, and when it did, they would need every advantage they had. Ethan, fully aware of this, began planning. His mind worked quickly, analyzing the creature's behavior, predicting its likely return patterns, and preparing strategies. Dr. Varin observed silently. He had never seen a being alien or human think and act with such precision under extreme stress. "Captain," he said finally, "if the serpent returns, Ethan should lead the counterattack. His instincts are unparalleled. His reflexes, his strategy, he's capable of defeating it alone if necessary." The captain hesitated. "You suggest we rely on a single human against a creature of this magnitude?" Varin nodded. "Yes, and we will support him. But he has the skill and resilience to confront it directly." Ethan overheard the discussion and nodded slightly. "I can do it," he said simply. "But I don't work alone. I need the crew's help to guide it, to keep it from harming the ship while I engage it." The captain finally agreed. "Very well. Prepare your team. And Ethan, may your courage guide us." Hours passed. The ship's repairs continued, and Ethan trained briefly with the crew, demonstrating techniques to distract, evade, and weaken the creature without causing catastrophic damage. Despite their alien physiology and experience, the crew realized they had much to learn from the humans' quick thinking and intuition. Finally, the warning lights flashed red. Sensors detected movement far in the distance, but unmistakable. The serpent had returned. Its massive shadow loomed closer to the ship. Moving with purpose, Ethan stood calmly in the central corridor, gripping the plasma spear. Everyone, follow the plan, he instructed. Keep it contained. Keep it away from the core. I will engage it directly. The crew moved efficiently, guided by Ethan's instructions. Energy nets were positioned along the creature's path. Bulkheads were reinforced to channel its movement. Alarms warned of hull breaches, but everyone was focused. The serpent appeared suddenly, striking with incredible speed. Sparks flew as its massive tail hit the hull. Ethan dodged and rolled with precision, barely avoiding the strike. He jabbed with the plasma spear, striking its flank, forcing it to change direction. The creature lunged at him again, jaws snapping. Ethan's reflexes were unmatched. He leaped, struck, rolled, and adjusted, always staying just ahead of the serpent's attacks. His movements were almost like a dance fluid, calculated, instinctive. Varen monitored from the control station, scanning the human's vitals. Every reading confirmed the impossible. The human's heart rate was steady, muscles unstrained, injuries healing instantaneously. His mind was processing thousands of variables in real time. "Captain," Varen said, awe in his voice, "he is beyond any known species. Physically, mentally, strategically, he is perfect for this challenge." The captain nodded, still tense. "Then let us trust him." Ethan's strategy became clear. He would guide the serpent into a section of the ship where the crew had prepared a containment zone. With precise movements, he led the creature along corridors designed to limit its mobility. The serpent struck at walls, caused sparks, but followed Ethan's movements almost instinctively. Varen and the medics watched in silence, their respect growing with every strike and dodge. Ethan's bravery was one thing, but his intelligence and control over the situation were extraordinary. Finally, they reached the containment zone. Ethan leaped onto a reinforced catwalk above the creature, aiming his spear at a critical point near the serpent's chestan area, vulnerable due to the damage from the first attack. With one swift strike, the plasma spear lodged deeply. The serpent roared in pain, thrashing violently. Sparks flew, energy discharged, but the creature's strength was fading. Ethan's quick thinking and precise attacks had weakened it. While the crew's nets and reinforcements prevented it from causing further damage, the creature struggled, then froze. Its eyes met Ethan's. In that moment, it seemed to recognize that it had underestimated this species. It slithered backwards slowly, then turned and fled into the darkness of space. Silence fell across the ship. The alarms ceased. The crew stared at Ethan in disbelief. He was unharmed, standing calmly atop the catwalk, spear in hand, breathing evenly. Varen approached cautiously, scanning the human. "Incredible," he whispered. "You have not only survived, but you have defeated a creature that should have destroyed us all." Ethan shrugged. "We did it together. I just led the way." The captain stepped forward, towering over Ethan. "You have done more than lead. You have saved the ship, saved my crew, and shown a courage and intelligence unlike anything in the galaxy. Your actions today will be remembered for generations." Ethan smiled faintly. "I just did what had to be done. I think humans are good at that." The crew erupted in applause, cheers echoing through the corridors. Aliens who had once feared humans now looked at Ethan with admiration and respect. Varen, still scanning the human, realized that this moment would change how the galaxy viewed humanity. Later, in the medical bay, Ethan sat quietly as the crew checked over him. Wounds had healed completely, muscles were unstrained, and his body showed no sign of fatigue. Varen recorded the final scans. "Your physiology, your abilities, they are beyond explanation. But it is not just your body. It is your mind, your courage, your spirit. You have shown what humans can truly be." Ethan smiled faintly. "If that's true, I hope it helps others see that humans are not just survivors. We adapt, we fight, we protect, and we never give up." Varen nodded. "You have proven it, and I will make sure the galaxy knows. Your example will inspire generations." The captain returned to the bridge, watching Ethan with newfound respect. "Prepare the reports, humanity. Has just gained a reputation that no one can ignore, and it is well deserved." Ethan, quiet but composed, allowed himself a moment of reflection. He had survived, fought, and led against a creature that could have destroyed the entire ship. But he knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and challenges. And humans. Humans were ready. As the Veil course sailed onward, paired and stronger than before, Ethan's presence inspired the entire crew. Stories of his bravery, intelligence, and extraordinary abilities began to spread through the ship, through communications channels. And eventually across sectors of the galaxy, humans had been underestimated, feared, misunderstood. But now, in this small corner of space, one human had shown what it meant to truly survive, to truly fight, and to truly lead. And the galaxy would never forget. Ethan sat quietly watching the stars, already thinking of the next challenge, the next danger, the next opportunity to prove that humans were not ordinary. They were extraordinary. And he was just getting started.